Hello again, super spies, and welcome back to Spy. React.
Today, I'm going to tell the story about the Avengers being disassembled by Scarlet Witch.
Don't forget to start the subscribe button. So, let us proceed.
Things begin with the Avengers all at the manor, hanging out. When all of the alarms go off at once, out in front is Jack of Hearts, an Avenger who has recently died. And to make things more confusing, he appears to be a zombie. Scott Lang, the current Ant-Man, runs out to see how their old friend is alive. Jack of Hearts looks at Scott Lang, and after seemingly realizing who he's talking to, he simply says, "I'm sorry." He then explodes! The blast destroys half of the Avengers mansion and kills Scott Lang in the process. We then cut to Tony Stark, who is currently the head of defense, trying to give a speech when he, out of the blue, begins to act drunk and tries to kill a Latvian ambassador. Over back at the mansion, everybody is scrambling around trying to figure out what's going on when the Vision crashes a Quinjet into the wreckage. He walks out of the wreckage and he starts to fire on all of the surviving Avengers. And then he lets loose a ton of little Ultron robots who begin attacking everybody. Captain yells for the Avengers to fall back, which they do. But She-Hulk goes on a rampage and tears Vision in half for what he has done. But this just enrages her even worse. She wants to know what happened, and she begins to attack all of the Avengers uncontrollably like her cousin. Everyone is dying and everything is burning, and what could they possibly do next? Well, they get all their injured to the hospital, and they begin to try and think, how could She-Hulk enrage? How could Vision drop all of these robots? Why did Jack of Hearts blow up at the mansion, and how was he alive? And how did Tony magically get drunk again? Well, a call goes out to the rest of the Avengers to try and resolve exactly what happened. When, I'm not even joking about this, folks, a fleet of Kree ships invades and begins to attack. All of the Avengers, reserves, and the current ones are now fighting the Kree, and they all begin to fend off from the Kree assault, with Nick Fury even commenting, "Why are the Kree attacking, especially with a ground assault? This makes no sense." Hawkeye then gets all cocky and he begins to fire off his arrows at the aliens like a boss. When the Kree open fire on his quiver, lighting all of his explosive arrows on fire, he begins to shout, "Not like this! Not like this!" And Hawkeye grabs a Kree, and he uses the Kree's rocket pack to launch himself at a Kree mothership, using himself as a human missile, and he destroys it. The Kree quickly retreat. Everyone is in shock. With everyone reeling from what just happened, Doctor Strange arrives on the scene. He explains that by following the magics, he has traced all of these issues back to the Scarlet Witch. She has been driven insane by the loss of her children all of those years ago. The children that were actually created from magical constructs of her own design. Having the memories of her children buried in her so that she would forget, and using her powers to subtly shift reality to make things happen in her favor, she eventually drove herself so insane that she thinks the Avengers took her children away. Captain America and the Avengers go and they confront Wanda, and they have Doctor Strange place her in a trance so that Magneto can take her away. All he can do is apologize for the mistakes he made with his children. Doctor Strange explains that there's no going back from this. While it was magic, it wasn't an illusion. Scott Lang is dead. Hawkeye is dead. The Avengers Mansion has been destroyed. And it's all over the news that Tony Stark was drunk. A month passes and the remaining Avengers arrive at the remains of the mansion. And they assemble one last time. They learn that because Tony looked drunk, he has been removed as the head of the defense. And due to this, he can no longer fund the Avengers. With no financial support, they're going to need to disband the Avengers. As they all remember the good times, they leave to thousands of citizens paying their respects to the team that has defended them for so many years. And that's it. The Avengers are disassembled. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. Au revoir.